Tunisia. Live. Be informed, be involved.
Madam Dudiziak, thank you for accepting our invitation. Could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here as well. My name is Rossana Dudiziak. I'm the Deputy Resident Representative of UNDP here in Tunisia.
Could you please tell us more about the activities of the UNDP in Tunisia?
UNDP has been in Tunisia for over 40 years. We have work in energy and environment, poverty and governance, and certainly this year we're very happy to be celebrating Democracy Day, because certainly the work of UNDP in democratic governance has really taken a dramatic turn this year.
And could you please give us more details about the Democratic Day?
Yes, Democracy Day is something that the United Nations celebrates every year. This year, Ban Ki-moon's speech talks a lot about the revolution sweeping North Africa that started in Tunisia. And certainly we have millions of people across the region that will be celebrating democracy this year. So it's a particularly meaningful event. For UNDP, we see democracy, human development, and human rights as very much linked. That while many people are obviously concerned with poverty, employment, health and education, which are all very important, human development is also really about freedom. And so for us, democracy, it's very important to make sure that we make the linkages between poverty, development, and democracy. And so you see a lot of the different types of programming that we do end up having democratic principles already installed in them. We have a lot of programs this year working with youth, working with political parties, and working with civil society. These were all programs that previously we would not have been able to do. So it's very exciting for me and for us in general to live, to be working with you in Tunisians. Now that Tunisians are celebrating Democracy Day, this year is a very special event in Tunisia.
Okay. So as democracy has to be installed in Tunisia, there is work that should be done. There is work that should be done at every level of the government. So where does the United Nations have to prioritize?
Yes, I mean, democracy is something that exists in civil society. It's something that's necessary within government, and even within government, local government, regional government, and national government. While prioritizing this year, UNDP, we always work based on the requests of our partners, of the Tunisian interim government and of Tunisian institutions. So we've been prioritizing a lot of it based on the requests that we've received. We've been able to work, for instance, on the political party financing law. We've been able to have workshops with political parties, and this was very much prioritized because of the situation and because there was so much energy before July 24th and now before October 23rd in preparation for the elections. So a lot of the work also in civil society. Civil society in Tunisia is really opening up and revitalizing. We did some work on analysis of the civil society law, and we're also trying to engage with civil society organizations so that they can understand what the new civil society law means for them.
Okay. So now, what are the previous transitional experiences that could help Tunisia the most?
Well, there is no one solution, and obviously Tunisia is going to have to invent its own path, and Tunisia is setting its own, it's going to have its own place in history. But we've been able to have events with Eastern Europe. We hosted an event, UNDP and the Romanian government invited Tunisian and Egyptian officials to see the transition experience of Romania after the fall of their dictator Ceausescu several years ago. We've also, Eastern Europe is a relevant example because it was similar income levels, similar issues in many ways. We also think that Latin America is an interesting experience, and in June we were able to hold a workshop. We brought leaders from Latin America, from Chile and from Mexico. Chile also lived a dictatorship, and so that was a very interesting experience. We held round tables with civil society leaders and with members of the transition government so they could exchange information and see how, for instance, Mexico and Chile had gone through certain phases of their transition to democracy.
So, as the Tunisian revolution was spontaneous, Tunisians themselves want to build their own democratic model. So how is the United Nations going to help Tunisia to do so without interfering?
Our main option here is to support. We respond to requests that we receive because we have participated in other democratic processes around the world. We can offer suggestions of technical assistance. Normally when we receive a request for example, the civil society law, there is no one excellent civil society law. Each country there are certain principles of what makes a good law and what can hinder civil society. But what we do is try and bring comparative experience from different countries. And as I said, we're here to respond to requests and we're here to provide options when we're requested, but we're certainly not here to provide any one solution. There is no one democratic model anywhere.
And you are also, the United Nations also want to improve the role of women in the Tunisian society. So, how, according to the United Nations, could the women help to ensure democratic transition?
One of the key programs we have right now is to ensure women's participation in politics. We've been working since June supporting women, encouraging women who may want to become candidates. And in doing that, we brought women politicians from other parts of the world so that they could share their experience. What is it like to be a member of parliament? So one of our key objectives is, one, to make sure that women are properly represented and that we can support the women who are interested in doing this. And then the second thing is once women are in the Constituent Assembly, also provide comparative expertise on what types of things could promote or perhaps not promote the women's rights in a constitution. So, and we have comparative experience from different countries on that as well.
So, thank you for accepting our invitation here in Tunisia Live. Is there anything else you want to add?
I think that this is a very exciting time to be in Tunisia, and I think that for you that are living the transition and are living the revolution, it's a privilege for you, and it's a privilege for me also to be witnessing it with you. And that certainly Democracy Day this year across North Africa and the Middle East, we're really right now, the whole world is waiting to see what happens, and that I'm quite confident that democracy that started from the roots here in Tunisia is really going to be a model for the world.
Available on tunisialive.net.